Hey, Eric Goll here. I've been getting so many questions coming in from families, so I figured I'd start this video series to start to answer the questions that y'all have. So I had a question that came in from a family, and they asked, my son's been raised as a special needs person by us as well as society. So how do we undo 31 years of brainwashing so he can communicate effectively, take responsibility for his actions, and is no longer enabled by us or dependent just on us? And this is a big question, right? And this family is curious, like, how do we change this ingrained behavior that we have and our loved one has? And I think so often when we think about this, if we want to help our loved one build their capability, to help them grow, we think that the change has to come from them. But the reality is that this change starts within us, right? It starts within you as a family member, a parent, a caregiver, whatever you want to call yourself, right? It starts with you. So that's the first step, is to recognize and have that awareness that this change starts with you, and to be aware that your loved one is being treated differently or othered or special. And I usually don't use the term special needs. It just came in as a question, but I think it's important for us to think about that language that we're using. And if we're calling our loved ones special needs, we're automatically othering our loved one, right? So we need to start to become aware of this within ourselves, and that the change has to come within us, not from within our loved one. The second step here is to think about our own thinking. And do you think of your loved one as someone who's incapable, as maybe someone who has little to offer to the world? Or do you think of your loved one who is someone who has great capabilities, as someone who can contribute to the lives of other people? Because how you are thinking about your loved one results in how your loved one is in the world. We have that much influence on our loved one in terms of our thinking, right? So how we're thinking is influencing how our loved one's life goes. So you need to make that choice, right? What do you choose to believe? Do you choose to believe that your loved one is someone who's incapable and isn't going to contribute in the world, or your loved one is someone who has capabilities and that they can contribute in the lives of other people? And that's how you can start to make that change. The third step is to upgrade your language, to look at your language. Now, I talked a little bit about special needs, right? If we're calling our loved one someone who's special needs, well, automatically that others our loved one in the minds of other people, also in the mind of your loved one, right? So when you change the way that you speak about your loved one to being more positive, you start to influence yourself and influence others and influence your loved one to grow into a contributing member of society. So instead of, saying our loved one is SN or special needs, we can talk about who our loved one is. Like, what are their interests? What's their character? Like, what do they love to do? How are they contributing in the world? So, if I put this in the context of my family and my sister, instead of saying, my sister is SN, I could say, I love going to visit my sister and knocking on the door of her apartment. And when she answers, she's always so excited and joyful to greet me and happy to have me there. It's just amazing to be around her and to feel that energy. And when I walk in, her pet cat Annie is purring and rubbing up against my feet and wants attention too. It can be a little bit overwhelming in a good way to get all that attention and admiration just showing up. And my sister's contributing at the local YMCA in the maker space and learning how she can play a more active role there, right? So you're starting to get an understanding of how, when I share a little bit about my sister, it reveals how I think about her, right? Instead of just saying, I have a sister who has SN, I'm describing my sister in a very valued way, which changes my thinking. It changes her thinking, right? She hears me talking about herself like that, building more confidence for her. And also, it changes how others perceive our loved ones as well. So I really invite you to think about how to make that change in your thinking, and to realize how much your thinking and your language impacts your loved one's growth, their capability, their potential. So I hope that's helpful for you. I'd love you to scroll down, share in the comments how you're going to change your language to support your loved one to live into their own awesome, ordinary life. And thanks for joining me. Let's continue to take small steps forward together. I'm Eric Goll. See you for now. And if this video is helpful for you, I invite you to scroll down below the video here and download the Life Planning 101 guide. It's going to help you to continue on this path of creating an awesome, ordinary life for your loved one. I think it's going to be so helpful for you. Go ahead, click the download button and grab that for yourself.